The second the checkered flag waves on the final race of the season, every Formula One car instantly transforms from a state-of-the-art speed machine into a ticking puzzle of engineering parts. Yesterday, it was screaming through Eau Rouge at 330 km per hour, carrying drivers to glory, and today it's treated like expired milk in a fridge. Teams don't retire cars, they dissect them with surgical precision. Engines are extracted, electronics stripped, hydraulics removed, and even tiny wiring harnesses catalogued and stored for future reference. Every component is inspected, tested, and assigned a destiny, either as a museum piece, a showrun star, or recycled into the next season's technical innovations. Nothing gets tossed in a box without a label. Over the course of a season, teams might build up to 7 chassis per driver, sometimes because of upgrades, sometimes because a driver ran into a barrier. Stroll, we're looking at you. And sometimes just because engineers want to test a new aerodynamic tweak. By the end of the season, a team's workshop looks like a battlefield of carbon fiber, aluminum, and electronics, with some cars having never even raced competitively but still holding secrets worth millions. Old F1 cars are treated like moving encyclopedias of speed. Even a single suspension arm could reveal design choices that could make the difference between winning and losing next season. Interestingly, some parts are recycled across seasons. Wings, brake ducts, floor sections, even complex suspension geometries often reappear in new cars. Engineers meticulously analyze what worked, what failed, and what could be repurposed, meaning yesterday's old junk can become today's championship-winning component. Every screw, every nut, every piece of carbon fiber is logged, tagged, and stored. Obsolescence doesn't erase value in F1, it just changes the role. Once a car is stripped and sorted, it often ends up in a team's heritage vault, a secure, climate-controlled environment where cars are preserved like priceless artifacts. McLaren in Woking, Mercedes in Brackley, Ferrari in Maranello. These aren't garages, they are temples of motorsport history, filled with hollowed-out F1 chassis, engines stored separately, electronics archived for posterity. McLaren alone has over 70 historic cars spanning decades, from Senna's MP4/4 to recent hybrid-era racers. Every car is logged with exhaustive detail: chassis number, upgrades, race history, crash incidents, aerodynamic configurations, you name it. Some cars are displayed publicly in museums or sponsor events, while others remain hidden like state secrets, only revealed to engineers, VIPs, or visiting media. Heritage collections serve dual purposes: preservation and technical insight. Engineers frequently examine old chassis to understand structural durability, weight distribution, or aero efficiency failures that could inform future designs. Even the cars that never raced competitively contribute to innovation, making them invaluable lessons in speed and safety. Interestingly, some cars are stripped down to almost nothing, leaving just the carbon fiber shell. This may sound cruel, but in reality, engineers extract anything that can be reused or analyzed. Even the tiniest fastener or hydraulic component can reveal material fatigue patterns or precision tolerances, offering insights worth millions. Nothing in F1 is wasted, not even old tech. Occasionally, cars are given to drivers as gifts, a kind of "thank you for making us look good" package. Schumacher received his 1994 and 1995 championship-winning Benettons. Vettel got his 2011 Red Bull. Leclerc was handed the 2019 Ferrari after his first Grand Prix win. Alonso transformed these gifts into a full-blown personal museum, displaying cars, trophies, helmets, suits, and miscellaneous memorabilia, all organized meticulously. Walking into his collection is like stepping into a time machine. You see history frozen in carbon fiber. Sometimes drivers have to fight for what they're contractually owed. Button had to sue Mercedes after Brawn GP refused to hand over his 2009 championship car, winning a world championship and then having to argue in court over the car. That's a plot twist even Hollywood would hesitate to include. These stories highlight just how coveted and protected old F1 cars are, even when they are no longer racing. Gifting cars isn't just sentimental, it's practical too. Many of these cars still run, and drivers occasionally take them out for private demonstrations, showing fans the raw power and sound of an F1 car outside the racetrack. Nothing beats a former world champion casually ripping through a service road in a V8-era car. Some cars are handed off to sponsors, ending up in corporate lobbies, showrooms, or events, completely stripped of racing hardware. Plastered with logos, these cars act as status symbols, demonstrating both engineering achievement and marketing muscle. Banks, luxury brands, and tech companies use them as talking points. A Ferrari F2004 in the lobby instantly elevates the ambiance from boring office to motorsport heaven. Teams sometimes lend cars or parts as part of contractual obligations. A sponsor might get a full chassis, or just a wing or nose cone. These pieces often travel globally to events, festivals, or sponsor meetups, allowing the car to live multiple lives. It's advertising, it's history, and it's a crowd magnet all in one. One day it's a race-winning machine, the next it's a centerpiece for a VIP lounge in Singapore. Many teams breathe new life into old cars through showruns, where the machines roar to life on public streets or fan events. Red Bull is especially prolific, running their V8-era cars in cities, deserts, snowfields, and festivals worldwide. These cars are simpler and cheaper to operate than modern hybrids, making them perfect for high-impact demonstrations. Alonso, Vettel, and other champions have taken their former title-winning cars on showruns, letting fans hear engines that once won world championships scream again. Mercedes and Ferrari participate as well, traveling with teams of mechanics, spare parts, and support vehicles to ensure the cars can perform safely. Fans get an up-close experience of speed, sound, and spectacle, proof that F1 magic never really dies. Some cars are even driven in conditions they were never designed for, like snow-covered streets or desert highways, and fans go wild. It's a visual reminder that while modern cars may be technical marvels, the classics still have soul and fury. Beyond teams and showruns, F1 cars often end up in the hands of collectors, executives, and super enthusiasts. Zak Brown owns multiple historic McLarens, including Senna's MP4/6 and Häkkinen's MP4/16. Bernie Ecclestone once amassed 69 championship-winning cars across Ferrari, Brabham, and Maserati, which he sold for a staggering $600 million. These collections are more than just garages, they're living museums, where every car tells a story of glory, heartbreak, and engineering mastery. Enthusiasts frequently purchase cars at auctions or private sales, restoring them, showcasing them at events, or taking them on historic circuits. Some collectors maintain staff of full-time mechanics who rebuild engines, calibrate gearboxes, and tune electronics to keep these machines road and track ready. It's not just a hobby, it's a commitment that requires knowledge rivaling F1 engineers themselves. For many, it's worth every penny to own a piece of motorsport immortality, even if that means investing millions just to park the car in a climate-controlled garage. Collectors often organize private demonstrations, allowing a handful of fans or corporate guests to witness cars that once won world championships scream down a track, engines singing like they did decades ago. Some even participate in historic F1 events, such as the Monaco Historic Grand Prix or Goodwood Festival of Speed, where classic F1 cars can push close to their original performance limits. In these events, cars that were once discarded become stars again, proving that in F1, glory never truly dies. When F1 cars are obsolete, they sometimes go to public auctions or private sales, creating a fascinating marketplace where history, rarity, and engineering collide. Prices vary dramatically. Stripped chassis can sell for as little as $25,000, while fully functional race-winning cars can exceed $7.5 million. Factors such as historical significance, chassis number, previous drivers, and past performance influence the final sale price. Fangio's 1954 Mercedes W196 sold for nearly $30 million, still the most expensive F1 car ever auctioned. The real financial challenge begins after purchase. Modern engines alone can cost $10 to $16 million, and maintaining these machines requires highly specialized staff and equipment. A buyer must handle engine rebuilds, gearbox maintenance, telemetry calibration, and brake system checks, not to mention sourcing rare components that might no longer be manufactured. Some cars require full-time garages and storage facilities, which can cost hundreds of thousands per year. Essentially, buying an F1 car is not just an investment, it's a lifestyle choice, where the thrill comes with immense responsibility. Some companies offer full-service maintenance programs, taking care of everything from transportation to regular inspections. Others provide on-track experience days, allowing owners to drive their cars under controlled conditions. This ensures that the historic cars are not just museum pieces but living machines, capable of demonstrating the engineering marvels that once dominated the racetrack. The combination of rarity, performance, and heritage makes owning even an old F1 car a dream come true for collectors, but it also explains why these machines remain exclusive treasures in the automotive world. For those who can't buy a full F1 car, companies now offer experience programs to get as close as possible to driving a Formula One car. You can take a retired F1 car onto a real circuit with professional support, experiencing the sound, acceleration, and handling of a genuine race machine. Costs range from around $1,000 for a few laps to $30,000 for full programs, including transport, expert mechanics, and safety instruction. Some packages even include weekend-long immersive experiences, combining driving with engineering insights and behind-the-scenes tours. These programs allow enthusiasts to test the limits of machines that once won world championships, often on famous circuits like Spa, Monza, or even street circuits adapted for historic events. Some experience centers even run competitions or timed laps, providing a realistic sense of what a Formula One driver faces. It's not just fun, it's education in speed, aerodynamics, and car control. Fans can also purchase components of old F1 cars, front wings, rear wings, side pods, brake discs, even entire engines, to create furniture or display pieces. Tables, chairs, wall art, and chessboards are just some of the creative ways people integrate F1 engineering into daily life. This allows anyone, not just collectors or super-rich enthusiasts, to own a piece of motorsport history. Even if you never drive an F1 car, you can surround yourself with its innovation, artistry, and legacy. What's striking is the contrast between owning the car and owning a component of it. While full cars remain prohibitively expensive, parts allow fans to experience the history and thrill of Formula One without the astronomical overhead. It's proof that F1's influence extends far beyond the racetrack, into living rooms, offices, museums, and even pop culture, ensuring that every car, no matter how old, has a story to tell.